In this section, we'll be working other types of equations. I've got this labeled, but the first one is a higher order equation, we say. So let's take a look. For x to the fourth minus 18x squared, and that's going to be equal to 0. So we want to find the solution to this higher order polynomial equation. And so let's scroll down a little bit, give us some room. Alright, so let's take a look at this. What can we factor out? Well, we have an x squared and an x to the fourth. So we're going to look at this x squared. We're going to be able to factor out an x squared, and we can also factor out, it looks like 2. Okay, so let's do that. So we have 2x squared. We're factoring out. So we're going to be left with 2x squared minus 9. And that's all equal to 0. Okay. You can look at this now, just multiplying this back inside. 2 times 2 is 4. X squared times x squared is x to the fourth. 2 times 9 is 18. X squared times 9 is x squared. Okay. Alright, or I guess you could say, yeah, anyway. So now what we'll do is we'll set both of these equal to 0. So we have 2x squared. Set that equal to 0 and solve for x. And then we'll have another equation, 2x squared minus 9. Set that equal to 0 and solve for x there. But let's take a look at the first one here. So you can multiply both sides by half, and we'll be left with x squared is equal to 0. Right, multiplying both sides by a half. Well, 0 times a half is 0, and a half times 2 is 1. And then what you could do is square root both sides. Now remember, we square root, we write plus or minus, but that's not going to make much sense. Plus or minus what? 0. So x is equal to 0. Alright, now let's take a look at this one here. There's a couple things we can do here, but I think, I don't know, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to take the 9 over to the other side. Multiply both sides by a half. So now we're left with x squared is equal to 9 over 2. Now we square root both sides. Remember to write plus or minus. Right, so we're left with x is equal to plus or minus. Now the square root of 9 is 3. And then can't break that down anymore. We could rationalize the denominator, multiply the bottom by the square root of 2, the top by the square root of 2, if you want. But here's our solutions. We can write it in set notation. So we have a plus 3 over the square root of 2 and a minus 3 over the square root of 2. Okay, so that's considered to be your solution set. Now you notice, right, there's really 2 zeros here. I mean, there's 1 0, 2, 3, 4 technically solutions. I just want to point this out. Notice that the monomial here, the degree of this is, if you looked at this as just an expression, the degree of it is 4, which means that it should have 4 solutions. So always keep that in mind. Okay, what time is it? 4:46. We got time for another one? We'll leave it right there. Alright, you know where to find me. See you in the next problem.